When is the best time to talk?
There it goes. Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Hardcore Mortgage Real Estate Business Show, brought to you by Capital Mortgage Funding. I'm the host, Harvey Freed, alongside me, Mr. Harry Glantz.
That's certainly better music to have us jump into.
Right? Yeah, can I hear you, Harry? There you go.
Yeah, there you go. What's going on here?
We're getting it all figured out here.
You want me to do the sports update? I can do that.
They got our show. Jeff Lesson's so mad at Tiger Woods in the hunt now. He didn't even show up.
Update,
Yeah,
right.
This guy's furious about it. But anyways, welcome to our show. Again, we are going to give you 1 hour of the Hardcore Mortgage Real Estate Business Show. We talk mortgages and real estate. We bring in Becky Alley. There she is.
Hey, everybody.
The energy from our office, of course. Becky, great to have you here. And you're bringing special guests from X1 Realty, Aaron Boudreau. Aaron, I got that right?
Yeah, you got it
call
right.
you Bordeaux or something.
Morning, everybody. Yeah, Boudreau. Yep,
Same thing. Not
Boudreau.
the wine. Not the wine. Thanks for joining us, Aaron. We appreciate
Yes,
you coming
absolutely.
in again.
My pleasure.
You and Bill West, you got a team together, and you guys have been rocking and rolling. Of course, real estate is jamming all over Southeast Michigan, across the United States. So it's nice to have you in here. You'll take the real estate side of things.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I beat you up already outside here a little bit. A couple of things I asked. I said, what's going on here with your, you got an office. Isn't it old school? At the end of the day, your buyers have to have trust in you, and then they got to like the house.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It's basically just, building that relationship, getting out with everybody, showing houses, spending time, like I said, building that relationship. And, hopefully it's not just one transaction with them. We work on kind of building that relationship for life.
Yeah.
Get the
And
referral.
so their office is in Farmington Hills. They actually just had a grand opening. They're kind of going on their own and doing their thing. And what's really cool about them is you mentioned the old school part. Their office is in downtown Farmington. So it is that old school boutique, a lot of walk-ins, that kind of that kind of service that you're going to get where you literally can walk in their office. They completely redid it. There's couches, nice offices. It's very warm, welcoming. And when I actually went to their grand opening, I was kind of really blown back by the support that Farmington Hills was showing them. They had their the whole council was down there.
Yeah,
we were down
Chamber
there
of Commerce,
pictures,
yeah.
And it was just a really great vibe, and that energy that's around there actually is a testament to also the hot market in Farmington Hills too. It's amazing.
Yeah, we got a really warm welcome into downtown Farmington, which has been great. It's been, it's made the move from, Keller really, smooth and transitional. It was, we get walk-ins all the time off the street, welcoming us. Hey, glad you're here. Glad to have you in the neighborhood. So it's the sense of community there is awesome. We're trying to put some more money back into the Farmington community and, do different events and different things. We participate in quite a bit down there.
Well, that's a great way to get in. You're in the Chamber of Commerce, I imagine. You join the Chamber. You're part of the community. And I will tell you that downtown Farmington is a phenomenal place to be.
Oh, it's great.
Real estate prices in Farmington are very strong right now. We do a lot in the downtown, the historic community, and the historical area down in on Grand River and Farmington Road area.
Yep.
And we found that area to be, it's very strong. And like you said, you have to be involved in that community. It's a very close-knit, tight community.
I don't know why you wouldn't want to be a part of it.
It's cool.
Just that energy that they give you, and being able to walk all those little cute little stores, and then they have that movie theater that's downtown.
Yeah.
I mean, who wouldn't want to buy a house?
It's really fun. There's a lot of different places to go and have lunch, and there's foot traffic all over downtown, which I was kind of blown away by.
So you've been in the real estate business for how long?
About 3 years now.
3 years, and you're selling. What is your strike zone? I like to ask people when they come on the show, what's your specialty? Because you're really in any industry that you're in, you can't be all things to all people. Yeah. What do you like to specialize in? What's your strike zone?
My favorite client is first-time home buyers. I love being a part of that transaction. Making somebody's dreams come true with their first-time purchase. It's a memorable purchase. It's something that those people are going to remember for the rest of their life. So it's just really cool to be a part of, and it's a lot of people that are in my, demographic, my age group. And, it's easy for me. It's fun. It's
exciting.
I can tell
you this, that after 30 years of doing this, when I sit down with first-time home buyers, there's nothing gives me a better feeling.
Yeah, it's so gratifying.
It's still extremely gratifying. It's something, like you said, you'll always remember.
Yep.
And to see people buy their first home and the excitement as they go through, and they're very, very excited and they're very pleased, as well as nervous, and you have to hold their hand. But the bottom line is that you can do it.
Yeah, it's definitely there's some critical points in the transaction just because it is their first time, so they really rely on you pretty heavily for your knowledge and all that and your expertise.
It's definitely nice to feel like you have some value in the world, and as
Right.
you're taking it in, they're sponging it up. No doubt, though, about real estate. At the end of the day, you got to like the house. But these locations, it's always about location. We've always said location. It matters. And now we have, what's the next new trend? And it's really been these walkable downtown areas.
Yeah,
Right.
absolutely.
So it is exciting, and you guys, hey, what the heck? We'll go right down there. Now you're getting the foot traffic into your office and more exposure, because these have become the places where families want to live. What's the next spot? Have you sort of said, hey, I wonder what the next city's going to be that could be some good value for some first time home buyers? What are you seeing if you work that area? What might also be a similar area or the next growing area?
I mean, Livonia is kind of always that hot spot just because it's such a middle ground. As
Right. Yeah.
Detroit grows, as we all know, it's a 15-minute commute. So there's a lot of young professionals working downtown. So Livonia is that suburb with the good school districts right outside, and
Yeah, it's between that Westland area. So you got Livonia, Westland, Canton, like all that whole little, like you said, and you mentioned Detroit. Whereas like Detroit, yes, there's more of like that younger professional, but I don't know if it's a lot of more of like the families are moving into Detroit right now. I do think it's more of like hip for that millennial.
Yeah.
They're going down there. They like being around all that the hustle and bustle and what they're doing in Detroit. Obviously, I've always been a fan of Detroit,
Oh, yeah.
even before now that it's coming up and it's starting to show really its colors again. And I feel like we're getting that recognition in the metropolitan area where it's go down to Detroit. We got the ice skating rink, and then you got the sand lot, or like the little sand
Yeah.
beach area in Campus Martius. But if you're not going to be doing that, then you got your Farmington, your Livonia,
Yep.
and I think that even Dearborn is really coming up. It's super busy. A lot of people are trying to get in Dearborn because it also again has that walkable.
Yeah,
downtown
Michigan
area.
Avenue is
Yeah.
all being rebuilt. A new cityscape down there. They're adding a lot of new restaurants. I mean, restaurants are everything now. So
Yes.
you got to jam in a restaurant. You're going
I'm
to
a
attract
little
some
fatty
people.
boombalatti
Yeah,
when it
I
comes
love to
food.
eat too. That's a hobby of mine. So.
Well, but people want to hang out. That's
Yeah.
what people want to do. The quality of life now, the work-life balance is a lot different than, when you're grinding in the, 1970s, 80s, 90s. People don't want to do that anymore. What they want to do is they want to go to work, do their work, get their work done, and then go outside after work and hang out and just be with people. And it's more social.
Yeah.
And that's why you're seeing all these new restaurants. You're seeing all these new, coffee houses, air quotes.
Yeah.
And just to be places with your friends and hang out. And the closer you can live to those places, the better.
Yeah.
Because you don't have to drive anywhere anymore. You can get an Uber, you can walk, you can do all those things. So you can go ahead and enjoy the evening.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
You guys know what I'm talking about.
Yes, sir.
You can enjoy the evening and not worry about having to drive anywhere.
Yeah, absolutely.
Plus, it helps with your resale. So, if that's a good selling point. So, obviously, when you're meeting with your first-time home buyers, it's identifying those wants. And obviously, you have your, you're going to hit them with their, well, what is your want list, right? And okay, some of those might be realistic, but some of those you might have to compromise, right? And if one of those is we want to be close to a downtown area, well, then which areas you're going to isolate. And then you got
Right.
the school districts. It's finding out their wants, their needs, and then their whys. Why are you wanting to move here? What is most important? So that way, and someone like you're so professional, and you're also, what I like about you, Aaron, is you give them that detail that they're looking for, that attention that they need. You're not going to, I know if I'm giving you a new buyer, you're not going to be like, oh, I'm too busy, I have time for you, because that's key. You're literally walking them through their biggest investment they're ever going to make in their life, whether it's going to be their forever first home or if it's going to be their 5-year home. It's giving your expertise, whether you've been in the business for 10 years, 3 years. You have people that have been in the business for 15 years that take advantage, or not take advantage, but they take for granted that they've been doing it for so long that they kind of lose that detail and that attention that these buyers want, because they're just trying to turn these transactions, and you give them that attention that they need, and I really appreciate that about you.
Yeah, thank you. I kind of pride myself on that, making myself available, knowing my craft and what I do. I love what I do, so it just comes natural and easy to me. It's a passion of mine. So
A lot of fun as the market's starting to heat up,
it's
isn't
so
it?
much fun. I come to work every day just ready to go. I love what I do, honestly. So.
Yeah, there's a lot of competition out there for multiple offers, and you got to set yourself up for success. And a lot of that is also pairing yourself and your buyers with the right professionals. I mean, even when it comes to a competitive offer, you might not have the best offer on the table, but we actually had 2 accepted offers this week just because they were familiar with Capital Mortgage Funding, and the listing agent called and said, "Hey, we got a couple offers on the table. I want to talk to you. I'm familiar with you. I've worked with you in the past. I know this is a bona fide pre-approval, so we're going to see what happens, but I'm going to take your word for it." And our offers were the ones that were accepted. And
you get them to the closing table, so that's always the most important.
It's always a nice place to hang out. 248-539-9797. We'll take your calls all morning long. Of course, we're sponsored by Capital Mortgage Funding at 1-800-LOW-RATE, the best mortgage banker. We'll talk a little bit about mortgage rates when we come back. They're still at historical lows. Keep it here on 97.1 The Ticket. 248-539-9797.
Hi, Harry Glantz and Danberg for Capital Mortgage Funding. We do loans everywhere. In Southfield, in Birmingham, in Royal Oak, in Grosse Ile, in Detroit, in Canton, in Northville. No matter where you live, we want to do your mortgage too. That's Capital Mortgage Funding, 1-800-LOW-RATE, the best mortgage banker.
All right, welcome back to the show, 916. If you're just joining us, it's the Hardcore Mortgage Real Estate Business Show. Again, brought to you by Capital Mortgage Funding. You'll find us at 1-800-LOW-RATE, the best mortgage banker. Always here live in the studio, 248-539-9797. Looking forward to some of your calls. Got some great guys in here. Evan Parcher's been around real estate a long time. Evan, your Keller Williams guy at the Metro Realty with Mark Warren and his team. And, yeah, that's 50 years of experience right there.
Well, because Mark's 85 years old. That's why.
At least he is. Harry, I was going to start picking on him, but if you want to start the
he's going to laugh because I saw him 2 weeks ago on a Saturday night, and he was sitting a couple rows behind me, and we just waved each other. I've known Mark for a long time, and Mark, he's 85. I'm way younger than him.
Let's go to some of our calls out here. 248-539-9797. If you want to join us, hey, Greg, we'll start you off here. Greg out in West Bloomfield. There you are. Hey, Greg, good morning. Welcome to our show.
Good morning.
Morning.
Hey, I've got a question for Evan.
Yes, sir.
What do you do with a buyer when they're looking at a home and it has an old furnace and an old hot water heater, and they're saying that they want them replaced before they'll purchase the home? What do you tell them?
Offer them a home warranty. 1-year home warranty. That could be peace of mind for them.
Okay.
Plus, it covers other functionalities of the home, some of the other stuff.
Mechanicals, appliances, plumbing, electrical, that type of thing.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you.
Well, hold on one second. Wait. We
want to expand on that.
I got a couple of questions. So, is this the original furnace with the house?
Yes, it's one that's outdated. It's
Okay.
Not high efficiency.
No, I understand that, but people have to understand. I'm just going to try to bring the common sense in here. If they're looking at your house and your house is X amount of years old, and they like the house and they know how old the house is, and they just know that the furnace is that old, they're just trying to put it back on you to see how much more you're going to give in on the sale of the house.
Right.
Yep.
So, okay, fine. If I'm looking at an old car, I know it has an old engine in it.
Right.
Right? All right, so common sense tells me, but I can't blame them for trying to negotiate.
Oh, no, I understand that.
Right? So I think Evan just gave you a great solution.
If you see the service records and everything for all that, I wouldn't think it would be a large issue.
Right.
But they're demanding that it be replaced.
Greg, is this currently happening to you right now, or are you thinking ahead for selling your home?
No, just thinking ahead on different stuff, that's all.
Yeah, I mean, you're selling a used home. Just like
Right.
you said, it could be like a used car.
Right.
Everything is not going to be brand new. So show them the service records. The furnace is working correctly now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, they're going to do an inspection.
Right, so
and,
Matt, the inspector's here. You ready? So
Matt, what do you want to say about
the
this?
inspector guy's going to go
Hey,
there.
Greg, thanks
and what
for
are
the
you gonna
call.
say?
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Greg, one thing that I'm thinking about when you made a comment of that you do service on it,
The future looks strong. We're Danner, and after 85 years of making boots for the unforgiving Pacific Northwest, well, that means our boots come with deep roots, and the new Stronghold work boot does just that. This is what happens when iconic quality runs into modern technology. You get tomorrow's classic today. Get into the Stronghold for strength that starts right from where you stand. Find your local store at Danner.com.
The only way you can take 97.1 The Ticket with you is the Radio.com app. Download it today and listen to us anytime, anywhere. Brought to you by the LaFontaine Automotive Group, the family deal. 97.1 The Ticket.
Alrighty, welcome back to the show 917. If you're just joining us, it's the Hardcore Mortgage Real Estate Business Show. Brought to you by Capital Mortgage Funding, 1-800-LOW-RATE, the best mortgage banker. Hey, we take your calls here live in the studio up till 10 o'clock, 248-539-9797. Keep it here. There's going to be Tiger Baseball later today. And, of course, we got Dan Dickerson and Jim Price. I love those guys on the radio. They're outstanding. I don't even watch games on TV anymore, Harry. I'm outside listening to the radio. I'm a radio guy, of course.
Well, if you're old school and you really like the announcers, what you do is you watch TV to turn the radio to listen to the announcers.
Oh, my God. It's such a Randy Alley move. My dad totally does it. And it's because it's like you hear it first, so it'd always be like clapping before it, and we're like, what?
Yeah.
What happened?
Yeah. People still do that. They just watch the TV, they turn the TV down, the sound down, and then they go ahead and they listen to the radio for the sound.
And nothing against the TV broadcasting, they're doing a great job.
No, but they do. I agree with you. They do a really good job.
There you go. Hey, we got Mike calling in from South Rockwood. Hey, Mike, good morning. Welcome to our show. What's your question?
My question is we're in our 70s, and we've been in this house since 2004, and we have had an adjustable rate mortgage, which worked out for us until the last couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And we're currently at 4.75.
Yeah.
And we plan on staying in the house probably another 4 or 5 years at the most.
Okay, Mike, so since I'm closer to your age than anybody in this room combined, okay, I'm going to tell you this, that the adjustable rate for you right now, that's worn out. That's done. What I would do for you, what I would say to you is we'll get a hold of you, and we have to take a look at fixing that rate. You don't want that rate to go up any higher, and it can. I'm not saying that it will, but I'm saying that right now mortgage rates are lower than your adjustable rate, so you should fix it, and you should be done with it, and you should say to yourself, you know what? The last 6, 7, 8 years have been really good for my adjustable rate. Mm-hmm. It's time to fix it, and you made out. You beat the system. But any more that you let it go, that you don't do it, you're going to start giving money back.
Okay.
Does that make sense to you?
We were wondering because of the time frame whether we should go ahead and refinance because of the closing costs that you have.
Well, we'll do the math, and I'm sure we can keep the closing costs as low as they possibly can be, and we'll do the math, and we will tell you what the payback period of that would be. So, in other words, if it's too long, I wouldn't do it. But we're going to go ahead and we'll do the math, and we'll tell you, does it make sense for you to do it, or doesn't it make sense for you to do it? And we'll give you an objective opinion. And Harvey and I will do the math for you. Mm-hmm. Becky, whomever you want us to handle it. But we're going to go ahead and we're going to give you a shot at it.
Hey, Mike, there's new adjustable rates out there, too, that could actually work for you. Like you said, you might only stay in the house for 4 or 5 years. But, Mike, let me ask you this. You sound like you're in great health and everything. Where would you go in 4 or 5 years? What happens at 74 or 75?
Well, we probably would make the move to an apartment.
And why would you do that? You lose that. Why is that? Rents are going up through the roof. Why is that?
First floor. Do you have a first floor master right now?
I would say we have a 2-story, but right now the reason would be we would probably be not in good enough shape to do the maintenance ourselves.
What about maybe a condo? Like you could do like a ranch condo. I know there's some really good. There's a Del Webb community that's actually in the Woodhaven, Brownstown, and it's you got to be 62 or older to be a part of it. And when I tell you these houses are gorgeous, they're gorgeous. I wish I could be because like I was looking at houses and these would come up and I'm like, oh my God, what is this? And I'm like, oh, I don't qualify. I'm not old enough. So I think that might be a community that might suit you guys. It's a really active. A great community, but they have these, ranches. There's also condos where you don't have to deal with that maintenance and that property because there's an association that's a part of it. So before you think about, renting and, putting your money into someone else's pocket, because obviously you guys are, you're experienced, what's going on, you might want to think about possibly doing a condo so that way you don't have to deal with that, cutting the grass, shoveling the snow, because I know I don't want to deal with that either. And I'm, I don't want to do that. And so I don't blame you for, thinking ahead and not want to deal with that either.
Yeah, I'll have to take a look at those. I'm familiar with where they are, but we've never taken a look at them.
And who knows what the next 3 to handful of years will bring. There could be a lot of new communities popping up in your area, the Monroe or Rockwood, any of the areas down there. So
Yeah,
you live in a great area. It's starting to really expand.
At the very least, we have to do the numbers for them.
Yes, yeah.
Because that's what's going to tell the story for you.
Mm-hmm.
What the payback is, what the numbers say, and if you want to go ahead and undertake that kind of a situation.
Yeah,
for
because
yourself.
when you're retired, obviously we all understand. It's not like you can go and work out a couple more hours and increase that pay. You know what it is. You know what you're making every month, and you need to budget accordingly. So obviously when you're in a position where your rate's now adjusting, and yeah, you did write it out, and it was really great to let that adjustable rate float, but now we're in a market where it doesn't make sense anymore. So Harry hit the nail on the head for sure that needs to be the focal point. So that way for the remaining years that you are going to be in your home, we got to make sure that we're securing a payment that's comfortable for you, and chances are we actually might be able to reduce that. But we'll look at all the details for you, set you up, and then we'll get you in contact with the right people to get you maybe looking at the right communities to plan yourself for the next 4 or 5 years. Does a condo make sense in what location? So that way, again, you can just continue to put money in your own pocket, and if you sell your existing house, you're going to have probably some good proceeds coming in your way too, so you can always put that towards the next home. So I definitely would want you to think about that as well.
I'm thinking about everything you said, Beck.
Yeah.
24. Hey, Mike, it's a great call. And again, we'll give you more information and things to think about and run some numbers your way. I think it's a great call for everyone listening. Thank you, sir.
Should we call you?
We'll follow up with you right after. Yeah, we'll follow up with you today. Yeah, we'll get your number and open up the lines of communication. We always think finding out more about any client, because, this comes up all the time, Aaron, as an agent, too. Sometimes your parents' situation and what's going on in this world, and could you sell the house to a child of yours, and they can use the house. Hey, what about a reverse mortgage? There's so many different things and components of everyone's transactions. And as you meet so many different buyers, even though you're a first-time home buyer, their circumstances could be completely different than the other first-time home buyer.
Yeah, absolutely. And, we do a lot of that, too. Bill, my partner, my broker, he does a lot with, some of the older, clientele that we
downsizing.
have.
A lot of downsizing.
Yeah, a lot of downsizing. And just like Becky said, you don't want to really move into an apartment and just kind of give that money away. A condo is a great option just because, just like she said, there's not a lot of maintenance and upkeep, There's a lot of great communities, 55 and over communities that just have a lot of cool things going on, and we definitely service those clients as well.
All right, we're going to go to call out in Ferndale. I'm not sure of your name out there in Ferndale, but we're going to go to you, though. 248-539-9797 if you want to join this show. Good morning. Welcome to our show. Go ahead.
Good morning.
Hey.
Question.
Yes.
How does one know which mortgage company is going to look at the credit reporting agencies, or which of the credit reporting agencies specifically was looking for a refi on a home, and at that time the mortgage company, this is about 3 or 4 years ago, so the rates were really decent. The underwriters came back and said they were not going to give us a refi because one of the 3 credit reporting agencies was not reporting a equity loan that we've had for 10 years.
Yeah, did you do a modification?
About the fact that there was no credibility across the scheme of the 3 credit reporting agencies.
Yeah, well, first of all, all mortgage banking companies go through the 3 credit reporting agencies, and you pull a tri-merge, so there should be 3 reporting on your report. That's number one. Number two is that the thing that could have happened is maybe, and I'm saying maybe, there weren't enough trade lines for all 3 credit reporting agencies to report. Now, that doesn't sound like that would be the case in your case. Sometimes it happens where only 2 out of 3 come up. Number 3, did they give you a reason why that they couldn't re-pull your credit report?
Didn't get that far. We've had the bank, and I've had an attorney actually also yelling and screaming at the credit reporting agency that starts with a T, if you will.
Yeah, sure. You could say TransUnion.
And the bank has sent numerous letters to the reporting agency to say this guy's had a equity since 2010.
Okay, so I have so sometimes there's really no rhyme or reason why there are in a situation like what you have, sometimes a mortgage company does not report. It's not the end of the world. There's a way that we can fix it. So you can call us and we can get this corrected for you. It's real simple. It doesn't require screaming. It doesn't require yelling.
Or attorney's fees.
Yes, it just requires you seeking out the right professionals, and we can get this on
They
your
add
credit
it, that's
report,
right.
and we can make sure that it's just a matter of you having a polite conversation on the phone once we get all our data, and we can get this corrected for you and get you credit for actually making these payments and getting your credit score up where it needs to be.
That sounds easy.
Well, technically, this is hurting my credit reporting on the good side as opposed
Right, because you
to
have your payments on time,
Hey,
of course.
Dusty, we're up against a break. Great call. We appreciate it. 248-539-9797. You must go to the right place to get the right mortgage, and that might be Capital Mortgage. 1-800-LOW-RATE, the best mortgage bank. When we come back, all of your calls. Alrighty, welcome back to the show, 931. It's the Hardcore Mortgage Show, brought to you by Capital Mortgage Funding. Find us at 1-800-LOW-RATE, the best mortgage banker. That's where we get that strong approval letter. That's the key. Get prepared, get organized, understand the process and procedures. There's a lot of questions to ask, as you can see as we go through our show today. Of course, we brought in Evan Partridge from Keller Williams in Royal Oak, and we've got Matt DeLumba from Target Home Inspections, Matt's Place. Tons of information to share with you. 248-539-9797. If you would like to join us, I want to throw a couple things out to handle some business. Again, Harry, there was a break in interest rates over the last 2 weeks. But when your lender calls you, I want to advise everyone to make sure you act quickly. There's a lot of opportunities out there that come and go, but they go quickly. It's just like the stock market. These mortgage rates, Harry, as you know, they drop down. It was an opportunity, and you got to lock in your rate. You got to get your documentation to your lender and make sure you move forward.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago, if somebody quoted you on a Friday, you didn't get the same rate on the following Tuesday. We talked about that. It's a commodity. Rates go up and down. They go up intraday, down intraday. You've got to lock in that rate and lock it in on a refinance transaction. That's what we tell our clients, and that's what we do. So it's just something that you have to do. Now, let's get back to some real business. I want to talk about the home inspection because I'm pretty fired up about it, and I can tell Matt is a very thorough guy. He goes in there. He's going to do the report. He's got his checklist. He's going to show you everything that goes on with that house. We talk about foundations. Foundations around here, because we have basements, and we love to live in our basement. Okay, we do. So if somebody goes in there, and there's a difference between a real foundation issue and just a surface crack or a settlement crack in a foundation. I bought a house 25 years ago, going on 26. I see the inspector the other day. He said, "You still live in a house with a cracked foundation?" It didn't have a crack. It had a settlement crack. We filled it. I've been in the house 26 years. Never a problem. So go ahead and tell people that when they walk down into a basement, whether it's a block basement and they see the cracks, or it's a poured cement basement and they see cracks, let everybody know the difference between a crack and a problem.
Well, in a poured foundation wall, you're going to get some vertical cracking, and it usually happens right from the onset. So, for example, when a foundation company takes the forms away from the foundation wall and they cut the beam pocket in to set the I-beam, if they cut that concrete too quick, the stress from the cutting the concrete is going to cause a 1-2 millimeter crack in the foundation wall. That's not a structural problem. The only thing the crack will do is it'll allow water to come through it if you're promoting water around the outside of the house. And there's some simple remedies to fixing that problem by having a company come out and inject resin in the crack to fill the crack up so water cannot come through the crack.
And that's what we did.
Making sure the grade on the outside of the house is correct. When you're building a new construction home, the one thing that the builder does not do is they don't tamp the grade down. They do a final grade, but what's going to happen over the next 6 months to 12 months is the grade is going to settle on you. If you've ever gone into a new sub and you've seen your neighbor watering dirt and you laugh at him, you probably should check yourself, because what he's doing is he is settling the grade down and doing it quicker. You know, you have so many of these homeowners, they're impatient. They go out there, they want to put that patio paver on, they want to put that deck on, but you've got to make sure the grade is settled and add more dirt after the fact.
You hear that a lot of new construction, maybe waiting a year before you did your hardscape or some of these type of things. And yeah, grade is so important. And like you said, you'll go back to a subdivision 2 years later and you'll see the dirt line, and it's about 6 inches higher than where the actual soil is.
Same thing with paint inside the house, too. You don't want to paint that home right away. let it settle.
Let things settle down a little bit. Okay.
Fix some nail pops, this and that.
So we address the foundation issues, right? We're going to address those, and you can tell everybody out there that, listen, Evan and Matt know what they're talking about. All right, it doesn't.
Absolutely.
They know what they're talking about, and that's why we have them on the show, because we want to give you the best information possible. So then we go to the roof. We go to attics and roofs, and what do we talk about in attics and roofs?
We talk about ventilation.
Sports news all day, every day. This is 97.1 The Ticket.
Brought to you by Mother Waddles. Tiger baseball today right here at 97-1 The Ticket at Minnesota against the Twins. 1:45 the broadcast time with Tyson Ross pitching. Tigers and Twins were snowed out yesterday. That game we made up as part of the doubleheader on May 11th. Michigan spring game is today in Ann Arbor at the Big House. That'll be at 5 p.m. Hear that one at AM 950 WWJ. Pistons getting ready to open up their first playoff series since 2016. They're in Milwaukee tomorrow night, 8 p.m. right here on The Ticket. It is not yet known if Piston forward Blake Griffin will play. He's still listed as day-to-day with that left knee injury. Meanwhile, in the Stanley Cup playoffs, Islanders take a 2-0 series lead over the Penguins with a 3-1 lead. Golden Knights even things up at a game apiece with a 5-3 win at San Jose. Blues up 2-0 over the Winnipeg Jets with a 4-3 win. And Tampa losing their second straight at home to Columbus, and they fall 5-1. At the Masters, Brooks Koepka now finds himself tied with Adam Scott, Francisco Molinari, Jason Day, Louis Oosthuizen, all of 7 under par, one shot better in a group that includes Tiger Woods, Dustin Johnson, Xander Schauffele, and Justin Harding. At the Ticket Update Desk, I'm Jeff Lesson. For more, 97.1theticket.com.
The Detroit Pistons play the Milwaukee Bucks. Pre-game tomorrow night at 6:35 on 97.1 The Ticket.
Welcome back. All right, this is the Hardcore Mortgage Real Estate Business Show brought to you by Capital Mortgage Funding. That's where you'll find us all week long. 1-800-LOW-RATE, the best mortgage banker, all weekend long with Ronnie J in the office. That's right, give Ron a call. He'll get you a real approval letter. And that's what I'm actually going to sort of start off this segment with is a real approval letter. And Aaron, you see it all the time. You talk to people. And, I had a couple referrals out here this week. And one of the referrals came over and she said, Harvey, she told me she was pre-approved. And the first question, so when I got involved with this client was, hey, have you got together these documents and sat down? The answer is no. And it blows my mind still that there might be lenders out there across the United States, even in here in our own backyard, that are giving, these pre-approvals, but they're not even educating the clients here. And that's what scares me. And I think you've run across a few of these. I mean, have you had this experience?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It's to be honest with you, it's terrifying. Just for these, in my wheelhouse, these first-time buyers, they're talking to these mortgage bankers that are just kind of, lack of better terms, kind of blowing smoke, not going and being detailed and not going through the whole process and making sure that they are.
So, Aaron, Harvey's being the nice guy here.
Yeah, we call it the tissue paper pre-approval.
Yes,
here it is.
yeah.
Harvey's being the nice guy here, so I won't be the nice guy here.
Okay.
Harvey says there might be lenders out.
Yes.
Might be. No.
Yes.
Everybody out there are. And I call them, I call those approval letters, they're on tissue paper. Okay, they're not real.
I like it.
They're going to disintegrate.
You can see right through them.
That's right. If a lender hasn't looked at your financial profile, tax returns, paycheck statements, your assets, when you buy a house, the most important thing is, where's the money coming from?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And in this day and age, we have to verify every penny of where the down payment and the closing costs come from. You need assets to buy a house. Now, albeit there might be some programs that have limited assets, which is fine.
Yeah.
We still, whatever, if you're putting $5,000 down, we have to verify $5,000. If you're putting $3,000 down, we need to verify $3,000. So we kind of work backwards when you're buying a house. And Harvey is being the nicest guy he can possibly be.
I'm not nice at all.
All right, so.
Let's go to some of these callers, though. 248-539-9797. Al, we got a first-time caller calling in. Allie's calling in on a cell phone. Hey, Allie, welcome to the show.
Hi, how are you guys?
Real good. What's happening?
I'm assuming to be first-time home buyer, and I was just wondering what advice you can give me when starting to look at houses.
Well, I think, Allie, the first thing that Becky and I would tell you, and then we'll segue it over to the real estate agent, is probably sit with a true mortgage professional. Are you buying it with cash, or are you going to need financing?
More than likely financing.
More than likely, 90% of the people out there are using mortgages. So,
yeah.
I mean, if you're looking, I mean, that's the key. And if we could sit down with you and Beck. It's pretty much starts off with the documentation, finding out what their plan is, and putting his team together.
Yeah, absolutely. And, when you speak with us, you can't ever start the process soon enough. You need to know what you're getting into, what is your comfort zone, what is the max payment, including taxes and insurance. Do you want to put 20% down? My job is to tell you don't have to put 20% down if you don't want to, because you have, furniture and maybe landscaping. You want to make that house your own. So do you need to deplete your assets to buy that house? And because you're a first-time home buyer, no, you don't. And the good thing is that we will identify these programs that are out there specifically tailored to someone like yourself to make sure that we are setting you up for success. And then we're going to go through all that. And the thing is, too, like as Aaron will know, the market is competitive. So when you sit with us, we're going to make sure that your offer is going to stand out the strongest when we do this pre-approval, because we've done our homework up front. So when someone calls me, I'll say, yes, I've vetted him. I've looked at the taxes, insurance. We know what the payments are, your income, and we're set. So then when I send you over to Aaron, that's when he can get you identify your wants and needs in a home and location.
Yeah, and that's just key, having the relationship that we do with our first-time home buyers is that, we can throw them back and forth. We can game plan together to get them just right in the perfect situation and make them comfortable with, their payments and their situation. So.
A well-executed plan is what makes it fun, and that's what makes it, when it's fun, when it's knowledgeable and you have that confidence. Hey, how much money are you working with? Have you saved up for this, or what are you thinking, Allie?
Yeah, no, I mean, I have a good amount saved and everything like that. I'm very well off when it comes to job and,
You're in good shape, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll just say this, I work for one of the big three.
Okay. Oh, great.
Okay.
Good for you, man.
We actually have programs in place for the big three. So we will for sure reach out to you after the show, identify your wants and needs, and we'll let you know what special incentives we have for you.
I'm a former employee of the big three as well, so I always like to help.
Keep it in the family.
Yeah, I always like to help, auto industry, and those are fun transactions, too.
I was wondering, how important, when looking for a house, how important school districts,
School districts are huge. I mean, location is everything in real estate, so...
I'm sure when people buy their first home, it's not going to be their forever home. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Resale is a huge thing that goes into that as well. What kind of investment you're making. If you're going to be able to turn around a profit, or at least get sell the house when you're ready to in 5 years for that upgrade.
Yeah.
So.
Right.
Hey, it's a great call. We're going to follow up with you and offer you some special discounts for working with the automotive industry here. We have some special programs set up. It's a great call, Allie. We really appreciate it. We hope to have you close a mortgage with us in the future.
Absolutely, guys. Good talking to you guys. Thank you for the advice, and I appreciate it.
All right, we appreciate the call. 248-539-9797. That is really the most amount of fun. That's the guy I want to work with.
Right,
It really is when it makes it fun.
Yeah.
And of course, someone who's got money, they've got a good job. Those are the beginnings of being successful. I'm sure he's renting now, has been saving for a long time. So good stuff. Yeah, let's keep these questions going here. We got Robert out there on a cell phone. Robert, you got a question, buyer's agent question. Go ahead, sir.
Hey, guys. How you doing?
Real good.
Good.
So I'm a first-time home buyer, and I've been working with a buyer's agent for about 8 months now. Haven't been able to find a house, put a few bids in.
Oof.
Super competitive, got outbid.
Yeah.
Few cash bids got outbid by. I'm doing financing.
Okay.
20% down.
That's a lot.
So
yeah, it's a competitive market, and it takes a competitive agent. It takes somebody that's just willing to go above and beyond. Somebody that's knowledgeable, that has a couple different tricks in their bag for getting these offers accepted. Like I said, it's a competitive market. We definitely have our work cut out for us, but there's a lot of things that we can put into place into these purchase agreements that make our offers look real appealing. So. What areas are you looking in?
Yeah, I like that question.
I'm looking at Macomb County area, a little bit more north, Lapeer County area as well.
Okay. All right.
Well, even the competition is heating up over there, it sounds like.
Yeah, absolutely.
It is. It's getting really super competitive out in that area.
Where are you going to be? New Haven? Where are you going to be? Imlay City? Richmond? How north?
We've been looking Romeo, Almont, Washington Township, Shelby Township.
Great stuff.
Okay.
I know all those zip codes. They're all
I
great.
want to know, so you said you've been looking for 8 months now, right?
Yes.
Okay, so from your perspective, what is the most frustrating part that you've been experiencing within this 8 months? Obviously, like the getting out bid, I understand that. But from your perspective, what do you think could be done a little bit better? Do you think enough is being done from, the side is it just you're losing out, or do you think there could be things that could be done a little bit better? I just want to know from like a constructive point of view what you're dealing with on that side.
Yeah, that's great.
Well, I think initially, being a first-time home buyer, we put a few bids in, and they were pretty conservative because we were kind of nervous and we didn't know how it worked.
Mm-hmm.
And I think now, what's frustrating is, we come in guns blazing now. If we find a house we really like, we give them even asking price, and we're getting outbid where we're getting into bidding wars, and that kind of makes us uncomfortable because every time we get into a bidding war, we end up going over budget, and we don't want to do that because we don't want to be house poor.
Hey, Robert, are you, what about your existing living situation? Are you renting now, or do you have a house to sell? What's going on?
Currently renting right now.
There's no contingency to sell your house or anything. I think a little bit more professional advice from us. Hopefully your agent is up for the task. If not, maybe you got to part ways even on that side of things.
Robert, I would tell you this: there's a lot of moving parts in your transaction. I mean, but you have to, if you identify a place that you really want, and I'm going to say this, and I don't want people to take this the wrong way. But in your situation, if you find the house that you want and you want to be in that area, if you think about it, how long you're going to be in that house, you might just have to overbid. Okay?
Harry, he did say 8 months, and it takes 9 months to have a baby. For crying out loud.
He's going to have to overbid. He's going to, if he really wants it, he's going to have to, because then over years,
yes,
okay, it pays off. Okay?
Yeah,
if you really want it. I'm not saying to everybody every time.
All right, hey, it's a great call. When we get back, 248-539-9797. Keep it here. All right, welcome back to the show, 9:45. It's flying like always, 248-539-9797. We always give you some great information about buying, selling a house. A little bit more today. Got Home Inspector Matt DeLimben from Target Home Inspection. Of course, Evan Partridge from Keller Williams Metro Realty.
These guys know what
Royal
they're
Oak.
talking
Yeah,
about.
it's great to have you guys.
Love it.
Great conversation off the air, on the air. That's why having the pros in here, it makes such a difference. And I always ask you the question when I see you, even the real estate agents that are the top-notch agents, they chuckle at the ones that don't know what they're doing. They're in our way almost of really helping some families make some great transactions happen.
Well, unfortunately, there are a lot of people out there, any profession, that really don't know what they're doing.
Good save, my man.
I'll
Thank
get you out of this one.
Get me. I thought that was a good save.
I'll just get you out of this one. All right. So the home inspection process is so important, but what's more important is that you have people that can break down the real estate transaction, break down the mortgage transaction, have the inspector on your side, and that's what it's all about. But see, we have to disseminate the accurate information versus the inaccurate information. I should say it the other way around, the inaccurate information versus accurate. Just because somebody says something, and hey, you can fact check us. I've got no problem with it.
Okay.
Just because somebody tells you something doesn't make it true. Just because somebody posts something doesn't make it true. I'm tired of all that. I'm just telling you, you got to get in the room and you got to talk to people that know what they're doing. Right, that's just the way it is.
I'll throw it out there, 248-539-9797. Let's go off to some questions here. We got a buying question from Joe on his cell phone. Hey, Joe, good morning. Welcome to our show. We're about to plug you in here. There you go.
Good morning.
Hey, Joe.
Morning, Joe.
Joe, how you doing?
Hi. Good. How are you guys?
Great. Thank you very much.
Question I had was bought a house about 4 years ago for pennies on a dollar. And it's about 1,000 square foot. And, family got bigger, and we're looking at possibly going up a level, and then, or debating on, selling, get the profit from the house, then,
Joe, sort of like our last call is, always, do I stay where I'm at and do the home improvements and add money and have, like we were talking about it really, you got to get out there and see what the neighborhood's selling for.
You've got to. Joe, is this your first home that you're living in?
It's the second one. I bought it for $89,000, and then the market around the neighborhood is selling for the same house. Right as is right now is selling for $175,000.
Wow!
Good move.
You did well.
So if I put another level on, I'm looking at possibly getting $250,000 for it if I were to sell it, or Well, we're planning on, if we do put another level on, we're planning on living it. For,
Yeah, if you put the other level on, you're not selling it right away. That would be kind of silly, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's do this. Why don't we get your name and phone number? I'll call you after the show, and we'll figure this out for you.
Yeah, you go out there. There's no obligation at all, Joe. We'll get some professionals out there. And what they do is, and I know if you'll do this, you'll pull all the comparable sales in the neighborhood, see what things are selling for. Then we also sort of project, are there any other homes with the addition or with the added second level, and what are those selling for? And then maybe get you in a car and just drive around to see if you had all that money invested, what could possibly another house look like, and how would that help you?
By the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services and the Michigan Association of Broadcasters.
Now available for download. Always Aggravated, a Mike Valenti signature podcast. Get it on radio.com and Apple iTunes.
Welcome back to the show. We're in our last segment here, 9:47, and definitely keep it here on 97.1 The Ticket, because it's going to be sports all day long right after this.
It's going to be a beautiful day.
And it's gorgeous outside. That's the sun if you don't recognize it, and definitely enjoy it because we got some rain tomorrow, going up to about 59 degrees today, so definitely get the windows down, start working on the yard work. I'm just doing I'm doing little sections at a time here. Just trying to get it all done, and by the time May rolls around,
we're all doing it yourself.
Yeah, I love being outside here.
He's got a green thumb. He's got his little duckies he takes care of.
Are you doing that garden this year again?
Doing the garden, Harry.
Cucumbers and tomatoes.
Yeah,
and
the
all
whole
those
deal.
things you do?
Yeah, I love it. Love that stuff. That's why home ownership is
he
fun.
puts on his little gardening hat and gloves.
Not quite. Hey, you got it down the Hardcore Mortgage Show here. 248-539-9797. I'm having some fun. I'm Harvey Freed, Harry Glanz, Becky Alley, and we brought in our great Aaron Boudreau. He's from X1 Realty, and that's in downtown Farmington, which is really fun. It's been great having you on the air. Let's move on to some of these calls here. We got some good ones. Steve's got a question about buyers. Oh, okay. Hey, Steve from Ferndale. What's going on?
Hi.
Hey, Steve. Yeah, loud and clear.
Yeah, I got a question. I just sold a house in Farmington. We just closed down it Thursday that my daughter and son-in-law are currently living in.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. They just bought a house in Oak Park. However, their seller is making it difficult because he will not commit to a closing date. The other interesting twist to all of this is all of the agents involved, mine, theirs, and the seller's agent are all work out of the same office.
Does the purchase agreement that they signed, does it have a it's got to have a closing date on it?
Purchase agreement's a legal document. It has to have a term on it, and the term has to say when the closing date, on or before.
I don't know that he's. That's what I would think too. That they have.
It's got to have a closing date.
Yeah, the purchase agreement that they signed to sell their house has a date on there. But let's take it a step further. What is that listing agent, telling you guys? What's the real truth here? What's going on? They haven't found a house. Where are we at with this?
It was supposed to be in the 23rd of this month, and now they're saying not till the 29th. My issue is that the house that they're currently living in, which is the one I just sold, I have to pay rent to my buyer.
Here, do me definitely, Steve. I'm going to give you some good advice here. Of course, an attorney's going to be involved here, but start documenting everything, because any of these costs that you have to deal with after the fact, you're going to be able to recruit from the sellers. And a smart attorney and a smart listing agent and that broker should be heavily involved, because pretty soon the hammer's going to come down on them.
Well, I would review the document. I would review the document first. The document has to have a date.
Yeah, and there's got to be an addendum done. There's got to be an extension. There's a whole process that goes into making sure that if you're not going to meet that contract date, that all parties are aware of what's going on, and you basically at that point reset a new closing.
Yeah,
date,
I mean,
so.
it's a projected date, but you also don't want the transaction to go on until kingdom come. I mean,
Right.
everyone needs to be on the same page as far as what is going on and
Yeah.
what's holding it up. So you have every right to know what is happening with your transaction.
Yeah,
Got to be honest. You got to be honest, folks, and you got to lay it all out there. Otherwise, it's going to cost you. Right? You're signing contracts.
Communication's key between the
my
agent.
buyer, in this case, my buyer is the innocent party because he's being held up.
That's correct.
So you got to review the document. The proof is in the details right there.
Yep.
Hey, we have attorneys that we could refer you to, so I hope you don't have to go that route.
You do that.
Yeah, well,
whatever shakes out here.
Yeah, we don't want to do that.
Yeah, we'll definitely follow up with you and give you some great people to call. And again, sometimes some of the real estate attorneys out there, and this is a real good plug for them, is they're willing to consult with you first before they tell you what it's going to cost you and such. But that sometimes ends up being the problem here is they just don't realize that they have signed a legal contract.
Right, and here's a lesson to be learned. Okay, everybody says, I can tell you how many shows that we've done, how many transactions we've done. Everybody's eager to close. We got to close in 10 days. We got to close in 21 days. No. What's going on now is people want to stay in the house longer because they don't have anywhere to go.
Yes, that is very true.
So that's what's going on. Nobody wants to close in 15 days anymore. I mean, okay, let's just stop that right now.
That's the toughest part about a transaction is getting especially when you have a buy and a sell and getting that timing lined up. So you're not paying rent on your own property, or so it's nobody's having to go stay with relatives.
And there's
or
times
anything,
though that we'll get it done super fast and they're not ready.
Yeah.
We'll get our clear to close within 15, 20 days because we have that capability.
Right.
But the selling side maybe not be ready.
That's what happens. The sellers right now want to stay in longer because they don't have anywhere to go.
Yeah. Yep.
That becomes a situation. Hey, 248-539-9797. We want to get to calls, but first, let me go over a couple of refinance things out there. That's right. Many of you are out there taking advantage of these low interest rates. Again, they did burp up this week. So next time your mortgage guy calls you, or call Capital Mortgage Funding, get locked in and take care of your business because there's a lot of things to achieve. Getting rid of the mortgage insurance, Becky Alley.
Yep.
Moving from an FHA loan to a conventional, dropping your term
from 30 to a 15.
To a 30 to a 15. And really, that saves you tons of money. But here, of course, the consolidation loan. So many families they got a little in trouble with their credit cards in the last couple of years, but you got that equity. You don't have to eat it all up, but you can take out up to 80% on conventional loans, leaving yourself a lot of equity in the house and really setting yourself up for success. Call Capital Mortgage Funding, 1-800-LOW-RATE, the best mortgage bank. Let's move off to a question about, let's go to a VA question. We got Ray out there on the cell phone, if we got time. Hey, Ray, good morning. Welcome to our show.
Hey, thank you.
Hey, Ray.
Not much time, Ray, but go ahead with it.
Okay, quick question. So I am an Air Force veteran, and when I retired, they told me that one of the benefits we have as veterans is a VA loan.
That's correct.
Yes. Yep.
But so they send you all these briefings and things that tell you the benefits, but they never really kind of explain it in layman's terms. So I'm in the process of moving back home to Saginaw, and I've been looking for lenders, and the two lenders I've talked to so far said that they do not do VA loans. And I'm wondering if it's worth tracking down a lender.
We are the lenders.
You found one right now. Congratulations.
Hey, look at that.
Becky, we're fighting over them. We're fighting. Ray, me and Becky both want to work with you this week. But the best news about a VA loan, and thank you for serving, is that they allow you to purchase zero down. And that's the key. You can use your VA eligibility. All you got to do is gather up your DD-214 and your certificate of eligibility. The other documents are the standard documents. And we're going to follow up with you today to give you that information. Just a handful of documents. And away you go. You can really purchase a house all the way up to the conforming loan limit. I'm sure you're not even looking at that. I don't think you're going up to the high 400s. But yes, you can use that certificate of eligibility, and you should have full eligibility, zero down with absolutely no monthly PMI. It's a great, great mortgage. And again, that's how they sort of reward our military for serving.
Yeah.
How's that sound?
So you would say the main benefit is just the zero down.
That's a huge benefit. It's one of the.
That is a benefit.
Yeah, it's definitely a benefit because you're talking about you don't have to come up with 5% down, 3% down. Literally, you're just getting into a house for your closing costs, prepaids, and then if you find a seller that's willing to pay some of your closing costs, I mean, you literally can get into this house with the cost of your appraisal, maybe.
Yeah.
Well, I'm in a unique situation where I've actually been stuffing my mattress with all my extra money, so now I've got a substantial amount I can put down. So the zero down payment may not be something I necessarily need to lean on.
That's
So
a
are
great
there other
point.
benefits that might serve me?
Well, Ray, you just made the best point. If you do have money to work with and you're a 20% down buyer, we would not tell you to go VA because the Veterans Administration tax on a 2.15% VA funding fee. And if you're already putting 20% down, that wouldn't be the right loan for you. So, yeah, based on what your situation is, how much you're working with. And another thing, Ray, and I think, Aaron, you'll back me on this one, sometimes you'll find a house that all of a sudden you want to go VA because it needs a new kitchen or a bathroom. The functionality of the house is great, but it does, you want to save that money that you've saved up, that money, hard-earned money. You're going to use that to fix up the house because you really could buy it right for zero down.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I'm actually doing a VA right now. There's a lot of moving parts. You know, appraisals are a little stricter and things like that, but they make sure you know they're protecting their investment and you know it's protecting their client. They're you know, you
It's
as the
about
client.
identifying the right lender. So as you know, as Ray pointed out, not everyone has the capability to do VA loans. At Capital Mortgage Funding, we take a lot of pride in taking care of our veterans, but we're also very expertise in the VA loan process. What they're going to look for on appraisals. We kind of set that bar up, but then again, we identify whether that VA loan and using those benefits truly is going to put you in the better position.
It's got to be the right program.
Right.
Yeah. You've got to walk through every situation. It's like baseball.
That's why I feel comfortable sending everybody to Becky because I just pass them over to Becky and you know I know she's going to get my clients in the right situation. So.
Aaron, thanks for joining us. Aaron Boudreaux.
Absolutely.
From
Thank you for having me.
Realty. You're
Appreciate
awesome,
it.
man. Is that the fastest hour in radio? I promise
yeah,
you.
absolutely. I had a blast. Thank you
did
guys.
a great job.
Yeah, thanks.
All right, that music says we got sports coming up here. Keep it on 97.1 The Ticket all day long. Be sure to call Capital Mortgage Funding at 1-800-LOW-RATE, the best mortgage banker. For Becky Ellie, I'm Harvey Freed. He's Harry Glanz. We'll see you next Saturday.